welcome back. I never know who it is that ends up watching these videos that are not squishy related. I know that I have some subscribers who watch everything I post, and then there are some videos that end up getting a lot of views that are completely outside of my subscribers just because of the type of video that they are. I think a lot of people that come across my Pearl video probably are thoroughly confused by my background. But anyway, back in the countdown to the new year, because I hate the term Vlogmas. I hate that. I don't like a lot of, there's a lot of terms that come out that just hit my ear the wrong way, and I have trouble, like, it's like, I like the idea of posting every day, but I'm not gonna say that every day. It's not gonna happen. But anyway, I had a lot of things that I had planned on doing for that, and I did fail at that, by the way. Failed miserably. But this is officially part 2 to a top 10. I'm gonna link below part 1 if you want to go and watch it. But this other stack of books has been sitting in my room, and I look at them every once in a while, and I think about doing this video, and then I think about I need to get them back downstairs into the actual library, and yeah, because I have a lot of books, a lot. I love books. I love everything about them. I love the actual books. I am not an ebook fan or a Kindle. Never had one. Hopefully never will. I love a good brick and mortar library. Yeah, that's something else that I love, and I have amassed quite a collection of, because I like all different kinds of books. I have reference books, I have historical, I have a lot of different books, and I don't like to throw books away. So yeah, I actually have a lot of books from my childhood. A lot of books from my childhood. And 2 of these are actually from that. Well, technically, I guess 4 of these 5 are. I guess I don't consider like my teenage years childhood in the same way as like like my life was in stages. It was like pre-Moose Heart, Moose Heart, post-Moose Heart, adulthood. And so it's kind of crazy life. But anyway, when I made this group, I did it by size because I could not, I have far too many books to actually come up with like a top 10 favorite, really. These were, I guess, top 10 most like influential, I guess, in my list. I didn't go back and rewatch my original video, so I don't know what I called it then. It was a few months ago. It's May. Ow, I made it. I'm sitting on my ankles. I don't know why I do that. I'm on a wood floor. I need to get like a cushion to sit on. Anyway, so we're on the smaller end of the spectrum right now. Smaller end, thank goodness, because I can hold them in my hands. But I really do feel like I was being pushed towards doing this for several reasons. But I was pushed to get in this effort, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, and if nobody watches it, nobody watches it, and it really doesn't matter, because like books are important to moi. Anyway, since I started at the bigger end, I'll keep going to the smallest because the smallest is kind of the funniest to me. But anyway, next on my biggest list is actually one of my, I guess technically antique books, like, because I like old books. I like old books too, so when I go to like bookstore, I look for older version, like really old versions of something, and this is one of the Boy Scout handbooks with the Norman Rockwell cover on it, who I absolutely adore. I have huge coffee table books and prints from him I adore. But this is nice for a lot of reasons, and that's why I chose it, because it is informational. You can actually learn something from this. You can, I don't know whose this was. This one is from this is a 1964 printing. And it's $1, but those are the names. Ralph York at one point. Two different, looks like maybe James. Can't really read your handwriting. Sorry about that. But there's so much, it's hard to describe what's in here. I also have, this one's a little, how do I say it? Like, I don't know. It's not that, it's, I've lost my words. Like, because I have this one, and then I have a Marine Corps, like, survival not survival manual, but, like, little pocket manual that shows, like, things about knots and like, survival type, basic survival type things. And I think those things are important. It's important to know about the outdoors and things like that. So it's hard for me to explain this one. I don't know why. So I'm not going to keep on it because I'll just go to the next one. But I would recommend, well, it's not one I would necessarily recommend. This is just one that's a nice one in my collection because I do. I like it for a lot of reasons. If you've ever read this book, you know why it's on this list. If you've not read the book, then yeah, you missed out on something. I don't remember how old I was when I read this one. A lot of books I remember like how old I was. This one I had in my childhood and I rebought as an adult because I did lose it. But it is a story of a horrible family that like takes over a Christmas pageant, and everybody thinks it's going to be the worst thing ever, and it turns into a nice, wonderful Christmas story, and I adore it. Yes, I adore it. Now, this book here is actually the reason that I'm making this video, because I saw that they made this into a movie, and this is actually my copy that I had. So I got this in 1989. Yeah, 1989. It was on the Texas Bluebonnet. It won the Texas Bluebonnet Award, and I was in school in San Antonio at the time, so that was a book that was, I guess, on a teacher's list or something. But when I go back, I'm trying to figure out, because this seems like it must have been, it was a bit of beyond what I probably should have been. It's a scary story. It is a freaky, freaky story. I mean, you've got these two stepsisters. They move out to the country. They move into an old church. It's got a graveyard out back. And then there's a pond. The kid almost drowns. They end up falling through. I mean, skeletons. It was really kind of it's a scary story. But I read it when I was like 10, I think. I was in the 5th grade. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 89. I was 10. Yes, and that was a total. Sorry, you should be able to do that kind of math for your age rather simply. But they apparently made this into a movie in Canada, and so now I'm going to watch the movie. But I'm afraid that I'm going to be horribly disappointed because, as you can see, I'm actually rereading this book too. I started reading it to Eliza, and I was like, you know what? I was thinking about, I'm like, this probably, yeah, she might still be a little young. But I love this. I love this book. I love scary stories. Like, I have most of the books that I have. I had all of the scary stories to tell in the dark. Like, there's like 4 different series that I have downstairs that were all different scary story and real ghost stories and true stories. I was always trying to scare myself, and I have no idea why. Like, everything I read was scary, and that's what I was also thinking. I'm like, that's why I don't like scary movies, because they're not scary. Like, I have been scared to death by a book. Like, I've had nightmares from books. That doesn't happen from a movie. That, like, a movie just, like, I want to be scared by a movie, but you just can't do it. You just can't do it. Anyway, now this next, I don't know who that was that just tried to call me, but I do not have time for that. I gotta go get my hair cut. Oh, that, by the way, is the whole reason that I'm doing this video and not a squishy video. Because in my brain, the logic, don't ask me. I wanted to wait to do that video until I got my hair cut. Anyway, this book is part of, this is the only one that I have. There were, this one is actually volume 20. I think that these books are important to exist. And that's why I hold on to this copy. It is, beyond the shadow of a doubt, completely cover to cover offensive. Period. That is what it is. That is the intention. Stop popping things up on my screen. No. But yeah, it is offensive, and it is intended to be that way. But the whole reason that I hold on to this so strongly is that now people get so overtly offended by everything, and they let it affect every fiber of their being, and they let it ruin their day, and they let it ruin their lives, and it's insanity, because people are always going to be that way. There's always going to be somebody out there that is offensive and say, like, it's going to exist. You're not going to be able to eradicate it. It's not going to happen. And you have to be able to process it and react. And when I was in high school, these books were on the shelves in the bookstore. And yes, they were offensive. Everybody knew they were offensive. They're so offensive that the author wouldn't even put his name on them. Like, the name on these books, it's a pseudonym. Didn't want to say that wrong. And I don't think anyone to this day, I don't know, I haven't really researched it, knows who it was that actually wrote, like, publicly put these out there, because even when they were written, they were known to be offensive. But it's really important to me that this book remains in like physical existence, because you cannot erase things. You have to be able to, like, I don't know. It's important to me. But anyway, I would not put this on your recommended reading list by any means to anyone, because yeah, honestly, today it might actually cause somebody like an aneurysm. I think that very well may happen. But like I said, this is volume 20. There was an entire shelf of these at Borders bookstore, and the world did not crumble. Sorry, little rant there. But anyway, that's why that one's in my collection. But yes, if you ever, I'm not gonna, yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, number 1 actually is like my most favorite book in my possession, and I own 3 or 4 copies of this book, both hardcover, and off the top of my head, I can, like in my mind's eye, I can see 2 soft covers and a hardcover that I know I have downstairs. I might have another one floating around somewhere else, but this particular particular copy is very, very important because it actually came from my high school and I lost it. So my mother ended up having to pay like a ridiculous amount of money for it. I don't remember how much it was, but it was definitely more than the cover price, especially since the cover price on this book is only $6.99. But yeah. I absolutely love this book. I read it my freshman year of high school and I checked it out from my library and I never returned it. And it's in my bookcase now. I have one with the original cover before the original movie came out, because, and I like that one the best because everybody confuses, like, I feel like they get really attached to the Pennywise character, that is it. And if you've read the book, there's a lot more to it than that. And I think they did a little bit better of a job with the new movie, actually. I saw it finally. And I think they did a little bit better of a job expressing that it wasn't just a clown. A clown just happens to be something that a lot of people are afraid of and something that's easy to, like, if you put a scary edge on a clown, you're going to scare even somebody who isn't afraid of clowns. But it was not a clown and it bothered, like, but I think the other cover did a better job of, like, playing on that. I think this, like, this whole push with the original movie made people think that it was a clown more. And then when I read the book, I was like, what in the world did they do with that original movie? But then again, like, seriously, if you've ever read this book, you know there are parts of this book that are definitely never going to make it on the air anywhere other than, yeah, the adult section. So this is not a, I don't know, I read it young, but again, I was reading things that were about, like, probably not, I don't know. I saw the movie when I was 10 though, so I feel like the book, I felt like I was just jumping into nothing. But this, by far, being from my high school library, is definitely #1 in my actual, just the books, like, books that I love. Anyway, I have so many. But yeah, this is not a normal video, so I have absolutely no idea who's gonna watch it and if you're gonna watch the whole thing. And yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed that lovely ramble.